What's up, HP Athletic family? Oh, it's so crazy how hard it is to be apart. Obviously, I'm sure some of you are in the boat like me that you desperately miss being together. I know others are in the boat, as some of my more introverted friends are, where you enjoy this. In fact, you maybe even prefer this. But whatever the case may be for you, I'm glad that you are here tonight to celebrate our athletes. They definitely deserve to be honored tonight for their hard work that they've given to our sports program. Thankful for the time they've invested, not only in the sport for themselves, but in one another. It's so cool to see discipleship take place with our student athletes, and it's really neat to see them develop character through an avenue like sports. Of course, sports for me has meant a lot in my lifetime, and I love being able to share the gift of sports with our student athletes. God has been so good to us, and we are here today to thank Him for that. And we get to celebrate the gift of sports, and we get to celebrate the fact that our student athletes got to participate in them this year. And what's hard about it is that our spring season was cut short, and we have many student athletes who that affected. And I know it's even harder for the seniors. And one thing that it reminds me of is in these times of uncertainties that there's always the hope that we'll find a cure, or the hope that this will end soon and we can be back to life as normal. And when we get caught in these moments of hoping for things, I'm reminded of the one hope we have that is for sure. And that is that you and I are going to celebrate with our King together one day. We're looking forward to celebrating our student athletes tonight. I'm so thankful for our coaches and all the time they've invested. And parents, I'm thankful for you. You've put a lot of time into keeping your student athletes in our program. You help them get to practices and to games and home from games, and you get to be there to help pick them up after hard games or celebrate with them after good games. I'm thankful for you and the time you invest in your children, and I'm thankful for the trust that you've shown the athletic department here at Hampton Park in allowing us the opportunity to coach your children and be a part of their lives. All right, so tonight I'm hoping that you can enjoy hearing from each coach as they've sent in videos of themselves, sharing some memories from the season, recounting a few of the things that their team got to participate in, and then being able to give awards to a few of the individuals that they'd like to honor specifically tonight. Again, thank you for joining us. Looking forward to hearing from each of these coaches and honoring these students and the time that they've invested in sports this year.
Wow, who would have thought we would do sports banquet like this year? But I'm happy and excited to still do it and to be able to present awards to my well-deserved state championship teams. I guess the tears are going to come whether I do video or in person, so we'll all just get through it together. My girls team, made up of Evangeline, Carmen, Elise, Anna Claire, Catherine, and Sydney, did a phenomenal job this year. And those 6 girls managed to come in second place for 2 races, the Palmetto Invitational and the Conquer the Quarry Run. And then those girls brought home first place for their other races, including the Domino's Invitational, the BJ event, the New Covenant event, and our state meet. The girls brought home their 4th straight championship title this year. In addition to every girl receiving a medal for their first place finish, I'm also awarding an extra mile award and a fast feet award this year for the girls team. While a little biased, my extra mile award is going to Sydney. It's not always easy being the coach's kid, but this year she stepped up and helped me in more ways than I can count. She came early every race we had to help me load the bus full of supplies and water and ice and whatever I needed. And then at the end of each race, when we came back in the dark, she was here to shine her lights for me at the back of the bus lot to make sure I wasn't alone. After you've run a race, you want to go home and you want to rest. But she stayed with me and hung with me for each and every race, making the work a lighter load. So this year, my extra mile award is for Sydney. One of my favorite awards to give out is the Fast Feet Award. And this year, that award is going to go to Anna Claire. Anna finished top 5 in 5 of the races that she ran this year, finishing first place in 3 of them, including our state meet. She held her PR of 19 minutes and 50 seconds and continued to run her best as she pushed through a knee injury during the season. I'm so very proud of Anna Claire and what she has managed to do as she has begun this sport. Okay, so this year, my boys team, I ended up with 10 on that team, several of them being brand new to the sport overall. I had Caden, Knox, Noah, Andrew, Samuel, Grant, Michael, 2 new seniors, Nathan and Brandon, and then Jackson. My 2 new seniors this year, Nathan and Brandon, came in from the start, gave it all they had, did everything they could to push each other and to push Jackson, just to have a better team overall. A piece of my heart will leave this year as Jackson finishes his 4th year running for me. We've come a long way in Jackson's form, in his speed, and he has done so well. But the one thing I will miss most is his love for the sport and his love for others. On many occasions, you would look up and see Jackson running alongside fellow teammates after he had completed his own race to encourage them and get them to the finish line. Not only did he run with his own teammates, but on more than one occasion, I would see him run with a competitor just to encourage them to finish strong. He was a true leader on the team and did his very best to push everyone to do their best. This year, our boys team finished 2nd in 2 races, the New Covenant race and the Conquer the Quarry race. Then they held me on the ropes and had me guessing and wondering if they could pull off first place for the state championship. I think secretly, some of them were working behind my back to make sure that it happened, and they did. They finished first place in the state meet. So for my boys this year, I'm going to give 2 awards in addition to each boy receiving a medal for the state championship. My extra mile award is going to go to Michael. Michael is a quiet but integral part of this team, and he's been with me for 4 years as well. And he works to always be the first one on campus anytime we have a meet, to help offer to load anything he can load, to clean up anything he can do. This year, he helped me with bus management in helping some with the younger athletes that I had on the bus that I couldn't necessarily deal with as I was driving. And Michael stepped in and helped me in a great way, and I will appreciate it more than he will know. I'm sure that this year's Fast Feet Award does not come as a surprise to any of you, as it goes to Jackson. Jackson finished his high school career with his state championship run, setting his new PR of 17 minutes, 51.3 seconds. I'm excited to see what he does and how he does as he begins his college running career this fall. I'm so very proud of each and every one of these athletes and what they accomplished this year. And we do our best to remember before each race that the Lord is the one that gave us the health and the ability to run and compete in a race that we love. May you each remember and live by Hebrews 12, 1 through 2. Let us finish the race before us with patience and look unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. I absolutely cannot wait to get started with you guys on next season. As soon as this quarantine lifts and we can get back out to the field, we'll start running again in the heat. I love you guys, miss you, and can't wait to get back to it.
Middle School Volleyball 2019, what a season of memories. We knew it was going to be a special year at tryouts last spring, as the 2019 team had only 2 brand new players from previous years, which meant that we would have so many opportunities to help these girls grow further in the game rather than having to teach so many basics like normal. We certainly know well that the most successful teams are the ones that love and encourage each other through the ups and downs of a practice, match, and most certainly the whole season. So we really committed to developing that nurturing environment through time we spent together off the court as well as on. We had a super summer of a few practices, followed by a pool party where we got to watch the U.S. women's national team win their semifinal in the World Cup from the pool. So that was pretty cool. Then we went to Furman Camp 2019, lots of volleyball and all-you-can-eat dining hall experiences, some greens, too much pizza, endless fries, countless popsicles and cookies, and there were some other things as well. Numerous long hot walks from gym to gym, but mostly just 10 girls bonding and laughing and sweating together with memories that will last a lifetime. We knew that these girls were going to be so fun to coach. The season started off so well, and these girls grew and achieved so much success, especially in the first 7 games. 4 of them went to a deciding third set, and we went 2-2 in those, which was a great way to start off the season. The 2 we lost were eventually to the first and second place finishers in our league. I think they enjoyed watching me stress and getting the most out of their playing time as possible because they got to play another set. We had our second annual Lake Day one Saturday in September where the girls had a blast tubing, jet skiing, playing King of the Tube, Twizzlers, volleyball, sunburn, bit of honey, and smoking pig at the end. Another day of memories we will not soon forget. We went on a 3-game win streak heading into the playoffs by beating BJA in 2 instead of 3 this time, thankfully. We attended a Furman home match as a team, and then we had the pleasure of facing the eventual tournament champion in the semifinals. We lost there, but that certainly didn't define our season. For 2.5 months, these girls brought me so much joy. I'm so proud of each girl. We spent quality time together making so many memories. The growth each one of them showed was not just in their skill set, but in their love for the game and effort to be a good teammate, and that is what makes me smile the most. God showed himself faithful and strong to this hard-grouping work of girls who are an absolute joy to be around. Thanks to the entire 8th grade class, there were 8 of you. Yikes, I don't know what I was thinking other than I just couldn't do without all of you. So you were a driving force in all our success. You led us so well. What a special way to close out your middle school volleyball days, as I'm sure Tigertown will never be the same. Between our sand volleyball, QT trip, Panera, Big Mama, Clemson's thrilling 5-set victory with a good bit of screaming, singing, photoshopping, some dancing from some, and spill the beans to close it out. Thanks, Elise, Olivia, Stephanie, Kate, Adri, Grace, Braylon, and Sophia. A special thanks also to the parents who were so faithful and their support vocally, super encouraging and great group of parents to have there. I have without a doubt the best group of assistant coaches as well, with Coach Peary being there often this year, and then Bailey and Addison, who also poured themselves into the lives of these girls and mine as well, as much as they could in spite of their hectic schedules. So thank you seems inadequate to them. I have 3 awards to give, so I want to start off with the most improved player. Honestly, and I know I say this every year, but I'm not trying to be cliche, but it seems like that I need to have like 10 to 12 names that I could put on this and hand to each one because they all did so much. But this girl dramatically improved. She went from her first year playing last year as a 7th grader, being quite shy and unsure of herself, to playing all the way around this year, hitting in the front row and sharing quarterbacking of our offense duties as she learned to play setter from the back row, which is especially a hard transition for many young players. She's such a joy. She's so coachable. She works and demands excellence from herself. Congratulations, most improved player, Olivia Lungai. Our most valuable player, I'm so proud of each girl again, but this girl in particular really stepped up her game and her leadership this season. She led our team statistically in almost every offensive category, whether it be aces or kills. She became assistant back row passer for middle back when she stayed back there. Haha. She pushed herself to be her best and constantly wanted feedback to know how she can do it better. She grew in her skills of being an encouraging teammate and learning to trust her teammates. but she is one that's just hard to take off the court because she fills such a vital role for us. Congratulations, the most valuable player goes to Madison Camp. And last, but certainly not least, I'm saving it for last because I want this to be a special honor for her, and it's the Captain's Award. And if you Googled the definition of captain, you would likely find the following citation: an encouraging, team-driven, vocal, skilled, and irreplaceable teammate. And then if you were to click on image for the search, you would see a picture of Elise Vest at the very top. She has been such a special part of this team for all 3 years and has truly become the anchor and the coach on the floor. She led in so many ways, but truly her love for the girls and the game are what stick out. She exemplified Jesus as Mark shows him, by serving. She pushed each girl to be their best, but always in a positive, you can do it type of way with a smile on her face. I'm so thankful for the example she was to me and how to lead well. Thank you, Elise, and congratulations. Again, thank you so much. I certainly wish I could have done this in person and have the hugs and the virtualness of this is certainly better than nothing, but I want you each to know how much I'm thankful for you and love you, and I just want to be there for you and anything you ever need. And so as I close out, I thought it would be fitting to read to you the verse or part of the verse from Philippians 1:3. Every time you cross my mind, I break out in exclamations of thanks to God. And that is certainly how I remember you all. Super thankful.
This year was another great year for volleyball. I'm so blessed with the group of girls that I've been able to have over the years, and this year was definitely another great group. The year started with a team camp. It was a great team camp, and then we went to our team bonding day, which was a lot of fun, especially some very interesting roller skating. And then we went to preseason or season, and then ending with a state championship with the varsity. I'd like to especially thank my parents for both teams, JV and varsity, for all you've done, especially for line judging, which I know is really difficult and nobody likes it, but I so appreciate you being willing to do that. I also want to thank Mrs. Baxter for coming and helping me throughout almost every single match and just writing stuff down and helping me to keep things straight, especially the two different lineups. And I also want to thank Don Edwards for helping when we went to Blazer Blast and doing the JV team so I could just focus on the varsity team during that tournament. That was just really helpful. So I'd like to talk about the JV team first. I'm so thankful for this program. This is a program that the girls get to spend time really learning about volleyball at a different level and improving their skills and learning new skills and really getting a lot of playing time that they normally wouldn't get on varsity. This team, I just remember the first time I saw them play at team camp in our competitions in the evening, and I just remember, what am I getting myself into with this group? It was very eye-opening. However, I didn't quit on them, they didn't quit on me, and we kept working hard throughout this season, and I really saw so much improvement. Probably my best memory was watching them when we played the Trailblazers at the end of the season. The first set we lost 25-9, but these girls did not give up against this very good team. In the second set, we won 29-27 in a nail biter. And then in the third set, we won 15-9. And that to me was just such a cool thing to experience with these girls and how hard they worked and how much they improved. So thanks, girls, for a good season. And then I'd like to give one award for this group. I'd love to give more, but I'm just going to give one. And the girl that I'm going to give it to, the most valuable player, is a girl that I felt was just so consistent throughout the entire season. She worked really hard. Her digs were amazing. She was all over the place. She helped encourage her teammates, never gave up, improved so much on the front line with her hitting. And I am just really, really pleased with what she's done. She's definitely somebody I never wanted to take off the floor. And I'm happy to present the most valuable player to Tessa Bonema. And now I'd like to talk about the varsity volleyball team. This varsity team is a team that I'm really going to have a hard time saying goodbye to. They have been such a joy in my life the last 4 years, and I have learned so much for them. They have played so unified and joyfully. In fact, I've had so many people come and tell me how much they enjoy watching these girls play because of how they play. This season has been amazing from start to finish. It was a season that we went undefeated in our conference. But not only that, we just played really well against some very good competition. I have two main highlights for the season. One of the biggest highlights for me was when we went to play Blazer Blast. So Blazer Blast, for those who don't know, is a day-long tournament up in Hendersonville. You get up there, I have a coaches meeting at 7:30 in the morning, and then we start playing. And we played in our pool play. Started a little rough at the beginning of our pool play, but we played 4 matches in that. And then we start your single elimination tournament. Now, I don't really remember a whole bunch about how many matches we played, probably at least 7, might have been 8. But I do remember when we finished that day, and it was at 11:45 in the evening. Yes, 11:45. The championship game was an amazing match. We went into that basically almost straight from the semifinal match. Didn't really have a lot of time to warm up or do anything, or just barely time to catch our breath. So we started off that match a little bit in the hole. I think it was 8-0. We didn't get stats, so some of this is from my memory. However, the girls didn't give up. We just started chipping away at that and ended up really keeping that set very close. Although we lost, I felt like we really had the momentum. Going into the second set, we played really well and were able to win that one, although it was also very close. And then we went to the third set, and the third set, again, was one of the same things where we kind of got ourselves in a little hole, although thankfully not quite as big as the other one. And we just kept playing back and forth. And then this set, by the way, only went to 15. Well, they were up 14-13 and served, and we won the point, and it went 14-14. So you have to win by 2. So it went back and forth until they ended up winning 23-21. And you're probably wondering, well, why is that such a memory? It's a loss. It is. Definitely don't like to lose. However, this was a match that it felt like everybody was just playing their heart out, both sides. It was kind of sad one team had to lose. But it was really what happened after the match that really made an impression on me, and one that I've actually never gone through. After the award ceremony, and again, this is almost midnight that night, we all got together, everybody that was left in the gym, which was basically the 2 teams and the parents, and we got into a big circle and just prayed and glorified God for what he had done that day, and really just as an act of worship and praising him, because although we are competitors on the court, we're really sisters in Christ, and that's the most important thing, and that's really some things that I really want our team to always take from a season, is that although wins and losses are important, it's really how you play and who you play for. And of course, for us, this season and the last season has always been our quote for the team is play for the audience of one. And for that night, I truly felt like we played for the audience of one. It was an amazing experience. And in all my years of coaching, I've never gone through an experience quite like that. And it was so special to go through that with this team especially. The second memory I have from this team will be, of course, winning the state championship with them. They have worked so hard over the last, this past season, of course, but also for the majority of them for the last 4 years. And it was just so neat to be able to celebrate this back-to-back championship with them. And also it was just really neat to have so much family there and supporting, as always. I really appreciate it. At the end of the match, I do remember that I saw some of y'all taking pictures with girls from Bob Jones, and that just warms my heart because, again, the whole purpose of sports is to glorify God. And, although they are competitors, they are still our sisters in Christ. So I just really loved, that was my second favorite memory from this group. I pray that you guys will always strive to glorify God in whatever you do and wherever God leads you. And I pray that you always live for the audience of one. Now I'd like to give 4 awards. And it's really hard to give just a few awards because this group, we've been through so much. And just finishing with a state championship at the end of the season, to me, was like the icing on the cake of what this group has accomplished in 4 years. And I say this group in 4 years because most of this team are seniors. The first award I'd like to give is called the Hustle Award. And this goes to a girl who defensively just gave her all on the team. There was never a time where she just sat around and did nothing on the floor. She was always ready to get her ball, to get another ball that someone else might not have gotten. Her defense was amazing. She read the other team's hitters very well. And she really improved in her serving, and her hitting. She always wanted to be able to hit. And I just really appreciate this girl and her never give up attitude on the team. And I just really appreciate that she always wanted to get better and never settle for less than her best. And so I would like to give this award to Lexi Camfield. The MIP award, Most Improved Player, goes to a girl who I felt like really has improved a lot in several different areas on the team. And I really started noticing that in this season through different circumstances, especially there seemed to be times where the other team was focused on a couple other people on our team, and she was open and ready to hit. And we were able to give her the ball, and she was able to put the ball down for a kill and just really surprise some other teams. I appreciate her serving and how she really worked hard on that and just never seemed to give up in improving. And so I'd like to give the Most Improved Player to Emily Hansen. The Leadership Award goes to a girl who was our vocal leader on our court. She was someone who I have enjoyed watching improve in her skill set in these last 4 years. But even more importantly, I've been excited to see how she has grown spiritually. She has truly used her life to glorify him, and you see that in so many different ways. And I love how she has tried to lead our team spiritually. In fact, the slogan of our team, the audience of one, came from her, not this season, but last season. And I just love that because that's really one of the goals that I always want as a coach, is not just that we improve that we improve in our volleyball skills, but really that we use volleyball as an avenue to glorify God. I'm really going to miss this girl. She has been a great leader for our team, and I'd like to give this award to Bonnie Brazier. I'm so excited to see how God's going to use her throughout her life. The last award, the MVP, I think is no surprise to anybody. It goes to someone who has led our team in so many different categories. She was the one person that every team seemed to target in their defense. And she was able to just really improve in several areas this year. She's definitely the one that you never want to take off the court. So I'm very happy to present the Most Valuable Player to Catherine Lyons.
Good evening.